everyone! Today I want to have a discussion about branching out of your reading comfort zone. So this is not in response to any recent discussion or anybody's recent kind of takes on this. It's just a thought that is kind of going on in my head basically constantly. This demand almost, especially for a lot of people who read and review YA, to branch out and to try out different genres. And there's just a lot of things going on in my head about that, so I wanted to talk about that. Now I think I kind of want to preface that with saying that 2 or 3 years ago, I always said that contemporary is a genre that I rarely reach for, and I don't really find much emotional value in that, and that now contemporary is my second favorite genre. So I think it's kind of important that you know that this is a point where I'm coming from, that me branching out has actually made it possible to discover a new favorite genre. Now maybe the jump from YA fantasy to YA contemporary wasn't the biggest, but I think it's still important that you know that I have once experienced branching out in a very positive way. Still, I have a lot of negative thoughts about just this thought of, readers having to branch out. First of all, I think it's really funny that a lot of the times it seems like people are just assuming that we just don't pick that genre up and we're just assuming that we don't like it. When in reality, I feel like a lot of us have read certain genres a couple of times and we're just realizing these are not really for us. We tend to just not enjoy adult contemporaries or thrillers or dystopian or fantasy, whatever might apply to you. I feel like people are always acting like we're afraid to try new things, when for me, a lot of the times when I end up not picking up new genres, it's because I already very well know that I just don't really enjoy that genre. And so I find that a very strange place to come from in the first place. I mean, to be honest, I personally don't care. If you only want to read contemporary and you just think every other synopsis sounds boring, I don't care. I personally think everybody can just make their own decisions and, it's nobody's fucking business. But just, I'm trying to think about, where people are coming from, and it's just that I don't really get it. I feel like a lot of us, we have already tried other genres and we just realize we don't like them, so that's why we don't really read them anymore, and that's why we don't really branch out, because we have found what we love and what we most enjoy. Which is a great segue to maybe my most important point that I constantly think about when this discussion kind of bubbles up at least a little bit. Reading is still something that I do for fun. Yeah, I do review books, and I'm definitely in a position where there's some people who will listen to what I have to say, but for the most part, I'm still doing this because it's a lot of fun. I love reading and reviewing, and that's why I do it. I mean, I don't get paid for it. I'm very far away from getting paid for it. And so I feel like if there's a certain genre that I just feel like I wouldn't enjoy, or that I know in the past to have not enjoyed, why would I go out of my way to pick that genre up again? I never had fun reading a single classic. There's not one classic that I loved. I enjoyed Pride and Prejudice, but I had 5 million times better experiences reading basically anything else. As far as a classic goes, I had a really good time, but I just have so much more emotional attachment to other books. I feel like other books are so much more fast-paced and just keep me engaged so much more. So why would I want to go back to reading more Jane Austen? I'm honestly not here to learn. I feel like that's that sounds horrible, but I feel like that's also a lot of the times what people use as arguments. Don't you want to branch out and learn new things and become really literate? No. Honestly, no. I'm not here to be smart or to seem like a nerd or like a geek who's just reading all the time. I do it for fun. I mean, quite honestly, I'm just so happy to be in a position where I can use my time on reading something that's fun and not reading something that I have to read for any kind of assigned reading. I feel like a lot of us have done that for more than enough years. So now I don't want to have anything to do with that anymore. I just want to read whatever sounds fun. So I'm not really sure why some people are trying to take that away from us. I don't have any obligation to be smart or to widen my horizon for anybody. And that includes you. that includes my viewers who are kind of trusting my opinions. Pay me. Then I might do that. But as long as I'm still doing things for fun and the only compensation I get is a couple of free books, I don't have any fucking obligation to any fucking body. Once again, discussion time with Leah, just I'm getting more angry than I'm supposed to be. It's just that I find this whole discussion around branching out so pretentious. Like, you're just being an elitist asshole. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You're just cool because you really enjoy adult. If I were to enjoy more adult books, then I would read them. It's just that the themes in there just don't get me as much emotionally as YA. And if you think that's strange just because I'm an adult, well, I don't even know what to say to that. Because, like, it's not the fact that these characters are young is what makes me enjoy it. It's just that adult doesn't have the themes, doesn't have the angst and all of these annoying tropes that I love. They are just not there. Adult is like trying so hard sometimes, and I just don't want that. I just want to enjoy myself, and YA is the best genre to enjoy myself, quite honestly. So yeah, I mean, honestly, mostly my point about this whole thing should just be mind your own fucking business. The general community should do that much more, especially as the community is now big enough that you have more than enough people to go for if you feel like someone is not reading, diverse in terms of genre or not reading the genres that you enjoy. There's so many other people for you out there, but I'm not gonna adjust my reading to please you. I guess this also has to do a little bit with the idea of booktube or blogging, whatever you do, being first and reading second. And I think sometimes people confuse it, because for me, reading is still first, and then whatever I read, I talk about. It's not like I'm reading to talk about something, which, I mean, I guess that's also what a lot of people do, or what a lot of people think they have to do, which is a whole nother discussion. But yeah, for me, it's still very much I pick up whatever I feel like and whatever I enjoy, and then I use this platform to talk about it. It's not like I have this platform and now I will try to serve this platform. Not at all. That's not the purpose for me personally of this channel. What we talk about in our videos, in our blog posts, in our Instagram posts is not what we think people will hear about necessarily. It's what we do and read anyway. It's what we think about anyway. If I were to close down this YouTube channel right now, nothing about my reading would change. The only thing would be that I would get much more lazy and I would end up reading less books, because this is a great motivator for me. But other than that, nothing about my reading would change. So this is only the platform that I use to talk about it. And I don't think just because I decided to make a public platform gives you the right to get all up in my business. Anyway, another rambly, not really getting to a point kind of discussion, but with these things, they are just going round in my head again and again, and I just cannot stop thinking about it until I have talked about it. So here is my word vomit, and I want to know your thoughts. Do you agree, disagree? Do you maybe sometimes want people to branch out a little bit more? And that's a totally valid thought. I get excited every time Lala picks up a fantasy novel. So it's not like I don't get the general sentiment. I just don't get the actually going somewhere complaining about the way we read. Just let me know any of your opinions, agree, disagree. As always, anything in a respectful manner, please. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!